Hello guys, I'm Mechanic Pride. This video how to replace the seized hub bearing. Most of Explorer 2011 to 2019 seized the hub bearing to knuckle. So it's so much tricky. First you raise up on the hoist on your garage and a stand jack and remove the wheel. Remove brake caliper and 30mm and then put aside as much as you can. I usually using the mechanical wire attached to the body like this, and then you need to remove brake caliper anchor 15mm 2 bolts, and then we needed to separate brake roller from the hub, and then you attach the starboard screw. You needed to heating up, and then using the big hammer and then hammering brake roller using the 32mm long deep socket. Remove hub axle nut and then spray the lubricate WD-40 like this, and then because last vehicle also seized the axle to the hub. Lubricate between hub and knuckle like this as much as you can, and then we needed to remove ABS sensor. Some of the vehicle also seize ABS sensor to knuckle. Do not force to remove the ABS sensor. It's usually easily broken ABS sensor. Just leave it, and then remove the 4 hub nuts inside 8mm 4 long bolt. Workshop said replace the whole 4 bolts, but I reuse them, but nothing problem. So we need to remove hub from the knuckle, and it has a special tool and a sliding hammer and attach to this one. I every time so many car and siege the Explorer is so much sieged, so I hammering over 50 times, over kind of 100 times, never nothing move at all. So it's terrible. So I sprayed a lot, and some of special tool like this, I saw the other technician used this one. That is so hard to remove from the knuckle. So don't waste the time. I'm showing this video is my case. So remove the whole assembly knuckle and punch it out. Okay, this is more a quick way to remove the hub from the knuckle. Remove the ABS sensor connector between the subframe. If your ABS sensor can be removed, remove this much safe. But if it seized the ABS sensor to knuckle, just leave it. Remove just connector from the subframe and then leave the ABS sensor like this. Support and raise up slightly using the transmission jack, or also in your garage jack, and then loose up control arm. Before the remove bolt is a paint mark. It has the camber angle, so remove nut from and bolt from the knuckle, and also remove stabilizer link nut and link assembly from the knuckle, and then loose and shocks and strut bolt also, and then loose toe link bolt and nut. And the last one is the trailing arm bolt and nut, bottom of the 18 or 21. And then you guys needed to slightly up and down transmission jack also as garage jack in your garage. And then slightly move, and then trailing arm bolt and nut. You guys can see the remove trailing arm bolt nut. Last bolt, lower control arm bolt and nut. Do not remove the whole assembly, just loose slightly. Once you lose the lower control arm, it can be lean down knuckle outward, and then remove the axle from the knuckle, and it's separate from axle shaft from knuckle. And put aside axle shaft like this. Put aside the CV axle shaft, and then you are ready to hammer down. Be careful, hit the ABS sensor. This one is so much seized. So only hammer the center of the hub like this. So the bearing is bad noise, and then now it's seized too much. And then some case you guys spread a lot lubricate between the hub and knuckle, and then you start hammering, and the center of the hub is start to remove and separate like this. And then also between gap, you sprayed a lot. The halfway down is now, and then you keep going the hammering maybe 50 times, sometimes less, and then it can be separated. So there are, look at that, it's lost and dirty corrosion spot. That's why too much seed knuckle and hub assembly. I'm using a metal type wire brush or bulby type brush, and I clean whole knuckle around the hole. Grind and clean and keeps going. And then I found, look at that, it's so many dirty and grinding dust. And then carefully clean around the sensor with a file. And then look at that, it's so much shiny. Next, I apply some anti-seize or sometimes high temperature grease because I don't want to seize it again. I also applied some thread rock sealant to use the hub bolt, and then attach the hub and then tighten the 122 foot-pound or 4 hub bolt. Put axle into hub and then put together axle and knuckle assembly. Just tighten the halfway axle nut because do not want to fail down knuckle assembly. Using pry bar, line up trailing arm to knuckle. Install bolt and nut and tighten. Probably you need to up and down slightly using the transmission jack and garage jack. And then next, attach the upper control arm bolt. It also needed to hand tight. And now attach toe ring, bolt and nut. Now attach the all of bolt and nut for the suspension, and a low control arm, trailing arm, toe ring, upper control arm. But I don't tighten yet. We needed to raising up the car. It's a driving height. So now mark the paint you see here, you can see that. And then now lift up the raising height, let the vehicle straight to suspension, and then tighten all of bolt and nut. Next, the assembly and the back of the remover and the brake rotor, brake anchor and the brake pad and brake caliper bolt. Next, install ABS sensor and a retainer attach the subframe and the connector. Install shaft strut bolt and stabilizer legs. Remove hub cap for the roll the car and tighten the axle nut. And then remove the hub nut and then through the socket and torque wrench and then tighten the 258 foot-pound. Look at that, it's used one. I'm so many times replaced a hub Explorer and then 99% seized the hub to knuckle. So some cases seized the ABS sensor. You may need ABS sensor also. And this one also changed the front side hub. It also freaking seized again together and hub knuckle, and then remove whole assembly knuckle and hub, and I press down and using the press machine. So now it's pressed down and the front side hub from the knuckle. Look at that. Thank you for watching.